You are being programmed.
James Halliday and Ogden Morrow are the co-creators of the Oasis. The Oasis is a virtual reality simulation where people escape the real world. The name chosen for it in our reality is the metaverse. After James Halliday's death, and I'll do a bit more on this later, Halliday's avatar Anorak appears laying down a quest. Find the clues, win the challenges, accept the keys, 3 in all, and find the golden Easter egg. Here's the keys. If you find the egg, basically you win the Oasis. In a sense, you control lives. Wade Watts is the lead character. His avatar is Percival or Percival. The name Parzival or Percival comes from a 13th century tale basically about a knight's quest to find the Holy Grail. And here's just an ancient manuscript image of it. Wade Watts is an orphan and he was basically brought up by his auntie in a place called the Stacks. The main antagonist is a character called Nolan Sorrento. He's the CEO of Innovative Online Industries IOI. Basically, as you can see, what is it? It's an 11. The first of many 11s found in this film. But what do you see there? The little eye that pops up everywhere that they love to show us. Now, here's a coincidence, or is it? Now, the head of Scientology is a guy called, or is it a person? David Miscavige. Now, this is him. Please tell me you don't recognise who it looks like. It's crazy. Now, Nolan Sorrento looks awfully a lot like David Miscavige. Or Caviage. You can see it, can't you? Have they based it off him? Is it the influence of Scientology? I believe so. So what you're seeing here is just some images I have on my computer. Now it reminds you of the Matrix in a simulation connected to, the computer generated world. Now, in the film Ready Player One, they have places called loyalty centres. Now, if you rack up debts, that's where you get taken. So picture this, in X amount of years to come, you buy all the latest gadgets and gizmos for your virtual world, you can't afford it, And in the game, in the film, they take you to a loyalty centre to pay off that debt. It's crazy. I mean, we even have this week, or the last week, a guy selling his soul on NFTs and blockchain, I believe. It's crazy. So in the film, you have these are loyalty centres. That's what I call loyalty centres, where you go and play, where you work off the debt that you've accumulated. You even get charged for being detained. What a crazy world. Sounds familiar though, doesn't it? As we know, they're really ramping up this metaverse stuff. Here's an advert. The metaverse will be a digital infrastructure much like the internet. They want to take our physicality, our human self, our soul away by making all these little cool, cute little adverts that they're doing to promote it. What they want to do is they want to make our life a living hell, a battle for our soul. So when people have been, stamped on and life is that bad, they want us to turn to the fake world, the simulation. That's why we're seeing all these adverts, films, and like Ready Player One. They want to make life hell in the real world, so you disappear into the metaverse. Now, obviously, the metaverse is gaining more and more popularity, and we know it's Facebook rebranded their name and changed themselves from Facebook to Meta. Now, I did a little video on that not long ago, and I just want to show you a short clip from that. For anyone who's missed it, you would have to be living under a rock, as they say. Facebook is one of the biggest rebrands in our generation. They're changing its name from Facebook to Meta. Obviously, we know it's linked and tied to the metaverse, a bit like Ready Player One. But there's more to it, and I'm going to theorise about what the symbology of it can be. Now, most of us have seen the cringeworthy advert that he did for it, picking different avatars. I mean, I've slowed it right down here now so you can see the difference. I mean, there is more. There's a skeleton one here with fire at the side. More on that in a minute. Now, he eventually chooses a replica of himself. But we know it's all tied to transhumanism, AI, like I just said. And what we found not long after it was released, people were actually talking about what Meta actually means. But Zuckerberg actually says that the word meta comes from the Greek meaning beyond, and it symbolises that there is always more to build. Yet no one in the firm this thought about, well, say what does it mean in other languages? And then it came out that meta in Hebrew means dead. I mean, who would have that as a brand name? It's crazy. So meta means dead or death in Hebrew. So I was thinking, and I've been thinking for the last couple of weeks, could there be more to it? Now, there's Facebook logo at the top and the meta at the bottom. Let's change the top to just the Facebook F. Are we getting what the logo could be, or the cult symbol could be now? Let me get rid of the meta. Now you have the Facebook F and the meta or infinity or Ubros underneath. We know they love to reverse things and mirror things. So just as Zuckerberg is looking back at his AI self, his simulation, you have the two Facebook Fs together. But it's still not clear enough. So let me make it more crisp and just put two Fs back to back. Is there anything coming to you guys now? Let me put in a black infinity symbol underneath. Now what you're seeing, are you getting it? This is what's known as the Leviathan cross or Satan's cross. It's also the symbol for sulfur, and it's the cross of Lorraine. Now obviously sulfur, and have you got the one I made on the left, and the cross of Lorraine or the Leviathan or the Satan's cross on the right. To me, they are one in the same. It's not much difference considering I've just made it up. Plus, doesn't it remind you of a key? And what do you need a key for? To open another door. Taxi for Janus. Before I get back to the Ready Player stuff, I just wanted to share this tweet on the metaverse from Elon Musk. It just reminds me so much of Freddy Krueger and dying in the dream world. You know, because that was the era I was brought up. Shows you how old I am. But he says, if you die in the metaverse, you die in real life. Following the rebrand of Facebook under the new name Meta, SpaceX founder Elon Musk shared a Matrix-inspired meme on Twitter. Musk tweeted the image, which reads, if you die in the metaverse, you die in real life, in a chain of tweets mocking Zuckerberg. In response to this, which one user wrote, is this the new story arc for the Black Mirror, referring to the Netflix series? Another wrote, what if we are already in an infinite sim and we can't die? The tweet is a nod to the Matrix series of films in which people can die in the virtual world Matrix, meaning if someone dies in the Matrix, they also die in real life. Metaverse is the same concept as the film, The Matrix, which where humans are kept in a virtual reality simulation and the world around them is not real. Just an interesting tweet from what Elon Musk said about the metaverse. Right, let's get back to Ready Player One. Now, Wade Watts, obviously the lead character, is a gunter. Now, I'm just going to show you what a gunter means. A gunter is a contraction of egg hunter, and obviously because it's in the Oasis, a user who searches for Halliday's Easter egg is called a gunter. Now his crew are as following: H, which in the search engine keeps giving me arch, and I'm just laughing so much at that because obviously god of archways. We have Sho, which I believe is from Shoto, which means little sword, and his best friend is Daito, which means long sword. Now his love interest, which coincidentally is called Artemis, which is a goddess of hunt, twin sister of Apollo. In Rome, she is Diana, and Diana is tied to Janus, so is Apollo. So his love interest is tied to Janus. And these gunters together, when they clan up, are known as the High Five. So the clan is the High Five clan. Crazy, isn't it? And I've got a little bit on that later too. So the first challenge, and before I talk about this, I believe the book is so a little bit different than the film. And obviously I'm talking about the film, so it will be different if anyone's read the book. So the first challenge is to win the race. Obviously Wade, his car is a DeLorean from Back to the Future. So many hints with her that we're talking about in this video. We have the Sixers who work for IOI, and we have also the rest of the gunters. Now the race is very dangerous. If you die, you basically lose all your shit, your gold, your coins, all your upgrades. So to win the race is very dangerous. You have obviously the Sixers, the gunters, anyone else who's not clanned up, also other clans. Then you have a T-Rex, you have King Kong, and it's a crazy race. And everyone's been trying for years to win this race with no luck. So Wade just has a thought. He's going to go back to the research, and he listens to Halliday's, and he says in this, he says, why can't we go backwards for once? Backwards, really fast as we can. Really put the pedal on the metal, you know. So that gives Wade an idea. So to win, he has to drive the DeLorean backwards. He has to go backwards to go forwards. Back to the Future again. So obviously everyone starts and they're shooting off, racing, pushing each other out the way. Wade has an idea. He just hits the reverse and goes straight through an underground secret passageway. He goes all the way underneath the course to the end. He goes through the archway, the finish line, to where he meets Anorak, where Anorak gives him the copper key. And also with the first key, you get the first clue, which leads on to the second challenge. It's interesting, a lot of symbology and things that I will get into later. I just want to give you people a quick recap of the film and the challenges. So you can see why I had a wry smile when it's talking about you have to look back to the past to look to the future. Come on. That's basically one of Janus's traits. You can see the past and the future. His present is invisible because it's here in the now. So it's crazy, isn't it? And I'm going to show you all the 11s a little bit later on and other things that are fine. But just look at him. He's talking about giving people knowledge, a key to a secret door. Come on, that's Janus. I mean, I know this can be anyone with a beard, but come on, you can see the likeness. It's even in the same hand. Come on, it's not hard to see when I put these things in. Obviously, it's just my interpretation. People just won't get it. But come on, I can see the likeness, even like a weird broken nose too. And Halliday, he wrote his personal journeys and he called it the Anorak's Almanac. It's even on the key, AA. Well, A, given its numeric value, is 1. So AA is 1, 1, which is 11. Janus' number, the number of the doorway. And for anyone who's just watching for the first time, I'm going to show you a little bit more on that before I show you all the 11s, just so you know what you're actually trying to watch. Well, hopefully. I chuckled to myself when I saw this, especially for Ready Player One. So, right, have a look at this. The cinematographer for Ready Player One is a guy called, yeah, you got it, Janus, or Janusz Kamelinski. Now, he works with Steven Spielberg a lot. But what's the odds on that? You might say it's big, you might say it's nothing, but I just found it funny considering what I'm talking about in this video and certain films that he's worked on, like AI. It just blows me away when we find these connections. You know, some people say, Paul, don't say coincidence, but, you know, sometimes it can be, or, you know, I look at it a little bit different. But in this, it's just, you know, it just blows me away that the guy who's head of photography, you know, the cameras, the lights, is called Janus. Crazy. So Percival becomes first to the key. Sorrento basically, you know, gets in touch. Hey, come and work for us. I'll give you so much money. X amount, you know, all the usual stuff. He declines, and Sorrento basically traces his address and basically kills his family in an explosion. Reminds you of a certain day in September, the way they've done it to the steel beams. Now Artemis comes up with the answer for the next clue, because what Percival does is he basically tells all his friends how to win the first challenge. So they all have the key and they all have the clue. So they meet up, and it turns out that Halliday, it was supposed to go on a date, and he never took the next step. He didn't kiss or didn't dance with this lady, who then went on to marry Ogmorrow. So the clue is basically to detect that, you know, the leap of faith. That's what they think at the time. Anyway, so Artemis does this. She dances with the dead in The Shining, because that's the film they was going to watch. She ends up seeing Halliday's love interest, dances with her, wins it, gets the clue and the key for the next challenge. So it's a crazy, but it's an interesting film if you've not watched it. So Nolan Sorrento's meeting the stockholders, part of the people who own IOI. And he basically says the following: we estimate that we can sell up to 80% of an individual's visual field, basically before they induce seizures. So he's talking about how they're going to put advertisements into the AI, the simulation. Well, someone must have been watching the film. Have a guess. Well, Facebook are starting putting ads in the Oculus Quest games and apps and the headsets. So they're following Sorrento's basically lead. Facebook will start putting ads in Oculus Quest apps. It's caused a storm. Now, what didn't go down too well as well is, in the game, how Ready Player One used Microsoft's HoloLens to help build its VR cinematic universe. He got in so much trouble because he just mentioned Microsoft HoloLens, and they were partners with two other people. But we know the link between Microsoft and Gates. Gates is basically the name Janus. So this is the HoloLens that I'm talking about, that they were talking about, that they used in the film to build the universe. But it's a crazy link. And people say, yeah, Paul, you're going crazy with all this talk that you do. But wait till you see the following. You have a look who the big partner with the HoloLens and Microsoft. I've done so many evidence for this before on my old videos, so check them out. But this is the HoloLens in action, and here's the partner for HoloLens, Janus 3. Go on, guys, I want to know, am I going crazy that, as you can see, Janus 3 is one of the biggest partners? You can't make this shit up, as I say. It's just blown me away, that has. Right, to the last challenge and key. The IOI Geek Squad, pictured on the screen, basically steal a march on the High Five clan. They know that the final key is in Halliday's back catalogue of Atari games. They don't know yet which one, The one eventually that it's in is called Adventure Time, and basically it's whoever gets to that stage first, finds the missing room and finds the key, will win. But until then, IOI have stealing the marks, and to protect them, they have basically got an impregnable force field. Nolan Sorrento gets his paid help, an avatar called IROC, to acquire him the Orb of Osavox. And basically what that will do, will put, like I said, an impregnable force field around the game that's being played by the Sixers, so no one can break in, no one can get through unless you have the enchantment to basically stop it and break the spell. So this is Sorrento's avatar that you've just saw been given the orb. A lot of people believe it's like an homage to like an evil Superman, because his eyes change depending on his mood, so they reckon that's based on like an evil Superman type of character. But back to the spell. Now the spell cast, to use the Orb of Osavax, is from basically the movie Excalibur. I think it's a 1981 version. And in modern Irish Gaelic, now I murdered this, so I apologise, it's Aniel Nathrak Ortha Bias is Beatha Duchial Diama, or something like that. Basically it means serpent's breath, charm of death and life, thy omen of making. So that's basically what they are saying in the spell. And from the images we've seen of the orb, does it not remind you of the Masonic symbol, the compass and the square, doesn't it? It does to me. Whether we're just seeing it, I just don't know. But also another frame, it looks like the Macabre. So there's a few symbols hidden within the orb that must get you thinking. You don't have to agree, but it does to me look like it. It's not like Steven Spielberg's had form, is it? Of doing gestures and weird positions. That Orb of Osavox doesn't have to remind me of this. Remember this a few years ago? It was everyone's social media. Just reminds me of that. They're trying to get the power of the Osavax going. It's a crazy world. So anyway, we have Artemis. She's in IOI headquarters. She's looking for the password, the spell incantation to basically take the force field down, which obviously she does. But in the meantime, while she's looking for it, we have basically Parsifal. He's rallying the troops. He's calling on all the Oasis to fight for the Oasis, otherwise they're going to lose it forever. So obviously everyone comes and they're at a great battle. They're fighting their way to the dome. Anyway, obviously Artemis takes it down, and we have Parsifal who's playing the arcade game Adventure Time. As he's about to win it, Nolan Sorrento comes back and basically threatens to use the catalyst. This bomb basically will kill all life when basically on that level. So obviously that's the only way he's going to win. If no one can win, no one's going to win. So basically he destroys everything, even himself. So here's Nolan Sorrento. He thinks he's won, but he couldn't account for the fact that early in the film, the avatar known as Parsifal won in a bet an extra life. So as it goes, he won in the end. He came back to life, played the game, got the third key, and basically met Halliday. Or was it the real Halliday? Who knows? But there was one last challenge that Halliday put forward to him. He gave him a contract to sign, and Parsifal was smart enough to know that Halliday did not like contracts, so he didn't sign. Ended up going back to where he was as a child, won the Easter egg, became the owner with high five of the Oasis. So that's just my little roundup. It's just to give you a little bit of a flavour. It's not meant to be in depth. Yes, I missed so much out of it because it's not meant to be. It's just meant to give you a quick roundup of the 3 challenges, basically what the film's about. Now, what I'm going to show you now is all the weird stuff that I found, all the 11s, etc. And hopefully that will blow your mind. And for those that have not saw the video where I show the 11, I'll show you a quick clip, basically just roughly going over why 11 is significant to Janus. So before we carry on, I'll explain why 11 is connected to Janus. 11 is a prime number, and it represents spirituality and insight. It's also a direct channel to the subconscious and is one of the most psychic numbers. And it is considered the doorway to your inner self. Talking of inner self, could the pineal gland be that door? There's 11 letters in the word pineal gland. How much coincidence is that? Do we believe in them anymore? So let's have a look. The pineal is in the brain. Just look at the brain from above. It's separated into hemispheres. It's 11. It's so in your face. Now let's have a look at the pineal gland. You can see the two hemispheres in B and the pineal gland inside the little red area there. Well, let's take a closer look. The pineal gland is shown as a little red heart here in between the two temples. It looks like the brain. The occult name for the pineal is Janus. How much more do you have to be shown? It is crazy how much is connected to this entity. The pineal is Janus in between the two temples, the 11. Janus is the god of doorways, as I've said. He is the janitor. He holds the keys. In gematria, Janus equates to 65, which is 6 and 5, is 11. The number is significant. So Janus is 11, and the doorway, the transition, the place that everything flows through. So to finish off, I want to just show you a few more 11s and significant ones too. Ready Player One, the name of the film. 1 add 6 add 4 equals 11. It just blows me away. Now people can say it's wrong and it's a coincidence and this. Well, they're entitled to their opinion, just like I am. The Oasis, the simulation where you can go to get away from your life. The Oasis, 353 adds to 11. Now this intrigued me now. Remember Halliday's funeral, he had coins 1972. So I just googled and these are the top 2 things that happened that year. It blew me away. The 1972 United States presidential election with Nixon, and I can't remember the other guy's name, was the 47th quadrennial presidential elections. But it's not the 47th president. I think the next president's going to be that. But that just blew me away because it didn't make sense. And I typed it in and it is correct. It's just weird that I don't understand that one. But anyway, so in that year as well, the Munich massacre. Look at the dates, 5 and 6. The 5 and the 6 is in 11. But 11 Israeli athletes died on the 5th and the 6th. That's 11. What's the odds on that? That year they're showing the coins. 11 died. Well, we know why, or a possible reason, is because obviously Steven Spielberg directed Ready Player One, but he also directed Munich about the disaster. So he's putting little Easter eggs in for that purpose. It's just crazy. So here's a few more 11s connected. These will blow you away. Ready Player One release dates. There is a couple of dates. The first one was March the 11th, 2018, which adds to 11. But when it went nationally and world, it went on the March the 29th. Again, adds to an 11. And also the year adds to 11. It's just crazy, isn't it? Now the film is set in 2045, which is another 11. Just a coincidence though, isn't it guys? And this is H's van. Let's look at the number. So we'll zoom in here. 1172. And for you people who can count quick in your head, you'll know what it adds to. 1 add 1 add 7 add 2 equals 11. But just a coincidence. Other things on the van are a Tomb of Horrors devil on the back. But where could they possibly have got that idea from? Could it be sculptures of the devil and Pan and different things? And yep, you got it, Janus. He has horns too. He's also known as Cernunnos. But these things are just a coincidence. And I'm going to start raving mad, which is possibly, you never know. So as you can see on the screen, we have Anorak, Halliday's online avatar. Let's a guess. Oh, yep, adds to 11. but that's just a coincidence. And then we have, yep, Wade Watts. His full name is Wade Owen Watt. Wow. 173 equals 11. So it's just crazy, some of these. Look at that, the Back to the Future DeLorean, it appears in the film. Adds 2, you got it, 11. It just blows me away, these. It intrigues me. Some people will get it, some people won't, and that's cool. Remember the gang, the clan, high 5, adds 2, you get it, 11. And to finish off, I like to use this one. I have done many times, but it seems to be going past people's heads a little bit. We're talking about a simulation. Obviously, aren't we? With Oasis, Ready Player One, and on the rest of the things I've put into this video. And what's the oldest name that Janus goes by? Because he goes by many names, that's just his Roman name. But the oldest so far is IA. Well, that's AI. Well, what is it in Greek? IA is the number 11. Wow. And it gets me to this day. People are talking about simulation and Janus now because of all the research I'm doing. And his oldest name is IA, which is AI. And it's number 11. It can't be that more blatant, can it? Right, I think I'll do a quick thoughts and just a really short one. Right, guys, thank you for watching.
Yeah, they call me the black sheep. You know they call me the black sheep.
Hello and welcome. Right, guys, welcome to What the Flock TV. I've started saying that now because I'm getting a lot of new subscribers and they might not know what's going on. So, guys, what it is, this is part of the video where if I do a decent enough long time of a video, I'll do a thought section where I just a recap or just get anything off my chest that's been happening in a week. I'll put it in the thought section. So that's what you're actually seeing now. So thank you for anyone who's been sharing the videos out, the content, the channel. I've had a really big influx of subscribers, sufferers this week. And it's been amazing. So thank you for the support. Thank you to anyone or the channels that's been sharing my content. It's so much appreciated. Thank you for for taking the time to do that. So the video I wanted to do is about Ready Player One. Now it's not the book, it's not really the film, it's just a little overview and then obviously expanding into the world of simulation, or them trying to get us into a simulation, because like the Westworld quote, what it wrecks we head, wouldn't it be funny if we're in a simulation of a simulation? So that's always got me that, especially since I made the Westworld video. And if anyone wants to watch that, it's on me Odyssey Under the Black Sheep Researcher. I keep meaning to do it, but I've not watched the later series, so I wanted to wait. So this is going to be just about that. It's not going to be perfect, like I'm not. But I just wanted to make it different, like I always say. And I just wanted to do a quick run through of the film. Anything else I pick up, I just shared it with you guys, because you guys would have watched so many videos on Ready Player One, all the Easter eggs, and everyone else's opinion on it. But as we know, I'm slightly different to a lot of channels. And what they miss, I pick up. And what I miss, they pick up. And that's the beauty of having a different opinion. You know, that thing that people don't like us having, the opinion. And this is what it's about. So if you think about it, I research a lot of different topics. You can see it on my channel, but I do highlight Janus a lot because of what I believe, and I've shown in research how he's a god of gods and how he connects a lot of things. And people are seeing that. I used to get mocked in the community, but people now are taking, sitting up and seeing it and seeing what made it stand out for me. And that's a beautiful thing when you get that I told you, it's not about I told you so, but when you get so much mocked, it's good to see these channels now trying to talk about the subject, knowing that they're the ones that used to mock you. It's just brilliant. But a right little smile. So this video is about the topic of the Ready Player. Like I said, it's different from the film, it's different from the book, and I don't want to just say, right, this is this and this, like a lot of the other channels, and like a review. It's not a review. I've just watched it and I'm putting my opinion across, and then all the things that I see connected. Just get a little drink. Because you cannot ignore the fact that you have a guy, when Halliday dies, his avatar appears, laying down a challenge, a quest of sorts. Find the clues, get the keys, open the door, and you win the lot. Doors, keys. So you can see the Janus straight away when you watch that. And especially the likeness, it is very much like it. I mean, could he have based it off it? Yes. Could it just be another, what's the word, stretch that people like to use in my topics? You know, the backhanded compliments. Oh, it's a good video, but you did stretch. It's just an opinion, guys. There's nothing wrong with criticising if it's done right. You know what I mean? And that's what people just don't understand. I don't care what opinion you have of my video, as long as you respect that I have a different one than you, and I respect your opinion. Some people say I'm too nice. Just the way I've been brought up. I just don't get people in the community, because we're talking about online and simulation and different things, and them trying to get us into the metaverse. As a truther, like a truther 101, no pun intended. Whoops, this chair's creaking like it's some oil in it. So there's no pun intended, but if we're truthers, that's what we label ourselves. I don't. I like to call myself a questioner or something like that. But if we're truthers, why would you want to curse someone unless it's intentional? Or you can just put your hand up and say, I'm ignorant and I've not researched the power of words. Because all words are spells. And a computer, people will criticise a TV or television, no different than a computer. Computer is a Ouija board. We move the cursors. We use the scrying mirrors. We apply curses. It's like, you know, so there's no difference in my eyes, because you can indoctrinate you on a television as just as much on a computer, a laptop or a phone. And, you know, let's call everything a spade a spade. There's no better platform. They're all tools for indoctrination, but that's how we role reverse it. Like I always say, we use the beast against them. We use the against them, and that's what we're doing. We've made good friends, we've made good vibrations, we've made people happy, we've helped people. You know, you're creating a community, an online community, because obviously you can't visit everyone in real life as much as you would love to do so. So everything has a good and a bad, and it's just how you use it and the intent of what you're using it. I mean, just look at this now. Ready Player One. So we have a Janus type figure. He's telling people they have to go out, basically find the clues, knowledge. It's all about knowledge. Keys, frequency keys. Who's in charge of the keys to them from their talent point of view? Janus, the janitor. It's named after him. He's the keeper of keys, the frequencies. Everything is frequency, energy and vibration. So if he's the one controlling from A to B, and whatever's in between is you, the door, and he has a skeleton key, and there, you know, there's so much. That's why a lot of people have just started watching that door video, because I know the topic's intriguing. You're going through a doorway, and you forget things, but also the 11s are included in that to represent the doorway. That's what I put in this. So we have a Janus type figure, or a druid type, and he's basically saying, you know, learn some wisdom, some knowledge, which then is associated to Janus, because you've seen the videos, I've showed you the evidence. And if you get enough knowledge, you will get the key, and you will open the door, and you get what's behind it. It can't get any more Janus than that, can it? And the point of view is that the reason I included the meta video is because obviously the meta is the metaverse is basically, they call it the Oasis, and the name, one of the names that they've chosen is the metaverse, which isn't, if you think about it, they're trying to get more and more people, you know, into the metaverse. I don't think we're up to the stage where, like Ready Player One, where we're in full suits and we're in it to like our, you know, 24/7 basis. I mean, I don't know anyone that's got a suit. I know the odd one people have got Oculus, the you know, the Vision, that's told me. So, you know, it's not on a grand scale point of view, but they've always had our online avatars. Essential Google like and all the likes and everything. I showed you that in the curses video. So they have already basically an what's the word? An electronic voodoo doll of us, and you know, a metaverse voodoo doll of us that they've created using all our likes and watches and habits. They know we're listening to us on a 24/7 basis through your phone, through anyone who has Alexas and different things, you know. So that they're getting an online profile of you, and they want to make this life hell, which they're well on the way to doing that. And when we have enough tech or whatever it comes out that we spend all our time in the simulation, it's intriguing. I mean, like, I just can't get that thing out of me when it says, "Are we in a simulation of a simulation?" Wouldn't that be a mind fuck type of thing? Pardon me swearing. It's just totally gets you tripping, doesn't it, about things like this? I mean, there's people out there now selling the souls on, is it blockchain that have included it? They're ramping up. We have Musk like trying to get you that thing in your head, the chip in your head. We have Gates doing what he generally does. We have articles about the metaverse telling people they could live up to 150 years if they download the brain to the metaverse. I mean, that sounds like that film Transcendence with Johnny Depp, if you saw that, where he's ill, he gets poisoned, and he downloads his brain, creates like an AI type of thing. And that seems what they want to do. That's what I want. The reason why I did the video about Ready Player One, because it's that push. It's the push, isn't it? That more and more every day, week by week, things are going to like an E. You know, for the internet. You know, like cars are going electronic, and they're all named E this, E that, E vouchers. You know what I mean? So it's all going paperless. It's all going to, you know, online banking, blockchain, all the money that's, you know, coins and stuff, Bitcoin and all that stuff is all going on online because it's all being controlled by the AI. The AI, IA, Janus' oldest name, which in Greek equates to number 11. Surely no. We're in a simulation. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, it doesn't matter what you think, it's what they think it matters. Not to me, but to them. For instance, if they think, you know, it doesn't matter what we think of something. If they think otherwise, their intent and their manifestation is, you know, is doing that. And this is where we have to be better than them. We have a common enemy. Surely it's for our benefit to get on as much as possible. Fight the good fight. Fight the people who are taking over our realities and other realities, whatever you believe in. Yet we are fighting one another. We don't need gatekeepers. We don't need shields. We're doing it for them. Like I said, any content creators who are watching this video out there, or just normal people, will know you do a video and you get people. Yes, you get trolls that's computerized, but you get the people out there who just want to criticize just for criticizing's sake. I've never got it. I'm old school. I don't like something, I won't give you my energy. But these people want to take time out of their busy schedule, telling you how much of a loser, how much evil you are, this and this. It's like, you should be just ashamed of yourself, to be honest. You know what I mean? It's just, what's the point? So back to this. I can see at the point of what we know now. Like I said, we always say they're 20, 30, 50 years ahead tech-wise. We don't know. It could be more. And they basically trickle down and let us have X amount of tech. I mean, you got people out there who talk about Tartaria, antiquity, whatever you want to call it. There's ancient people have had different techs. We talk about the things that in the Vatican about, looking into the future. We just don't know what tech is out there. You think about any tech, you talk about tech, you make a video on about tech, you get called crazy loops. How do you know? That's my point. We're just what-ifing. Because sometimes some of these what-ifs are based on things that we generally see differently. And that's why the beauty of it. That's why if I see that type of pattern, you see that type of pattern, and then you see that type of pattern, you connect, you're making the puzzle. And there's always people who want to break that puzzle. Just crazy. So this video is about a Janus type of figure giving out the world, because that's what it is. People are living in the Oasis, which was in 11. Just a coincidence, just a transition. This, where you want to transition us from human, which is a frequency, to computer AI. That transitional period, transitioning. Who's the god of transitions? Oh wait, yeah. Janus. Baphomet. Janus. But no, Paul, you think you're crazy. It's all there. And that's the crazy. So they want to transition us from this reality onto is it a more controlled? What's the reason behind them getting us to that reality? Is it siphoning off our energy, our soul, our spirit? Keeping us more locked? Are these prisons of bones, these vessels, not working like they used to do? Because we're getting more enlightened, people are thinking more out of the box. The 5G, the harp, the poison, the food, the water, we seem to be retaliating back, fighting the good fight. So if they get us into that scenario, is that more in a sense of, able to control us? That's why you see films like The Matrix, where they're fighting to get out of the Matrix, and there's the Neo, the One, Ready Player One, is, like an evolution type of he's evolved into something who can control that reality. It's amazing, isn't it? That's what we're doing. Are people who are dyslexic, are they the ones who they're breaking the spell? The spell's not working as easily on them. Ready Player One, Matrix, Room 101 in Matrix, Neo's room, follow the White Rabbit. White Rabbit is said on every first day for good luck. But Janus has every first day of every month. That's just a coincidence. We'll ignore that, Paul. Okay. It's just the reality. I just chuckle. You just got to chuckle. Humour's gone out of the community as well. So we have a Janus type figure saying, you can have the power of your own hands. I'll give you the power of the Oasis. You can be a trillionaire. You just complete these challenges, find the keys, open the doors. You can't get any more Janus than that. You have the metaverse, or Meta, Facebook changing to Meta, and the people's theories on that, which I included a little clip of my own on how it looked like the cross of Satan or cross of Lorraine, by putting the two F's together on the Infinity or Meta logo. It's a key. Find the key. Open the door. What door's been opened by this? He's advertising now on Oculus, or was. Like I said, I've not got a device, but like I said, it was in the video. He was advertising in Oculus. Sorrento in the film was saying, I can sell up to 80% before people have convulsive reactions to obviously the flickering lights. It's the same. You have Elon Musk cheekily saying, if you die in the metaverse, you die in real life. Homage to Freddy Krueger in, is it number 3? Well, obviously it's in more of the films, but Dream Warriors, talking about if you die in this reality, die in your dreams, you die in real life. But what if we're in a simulation already? Is that why? Who knows? These are just things. I'll just like doing what if videos. coming out with theories and seeing, how they land. It's not. I don't promote fact. I don't promote I am right. I don't promote negativity. I'm just me, and some people have problems with me. Same as they have problems with you. We're our own unique people. We should just enjoy that, encourage that. So we have the game. So now there is the clan 5, the high 5 clan, and there is obviously Percival or Parzival, which is from Excalibur and the Hunt for the Holy Grail. He even has a sword on his back that you can see. I've included, I think. You then have his best friend H, and the search engine was giving me Arch all the time. And you have Daito Show, and you have Artemis, which is Diana. In Rome, which is Janus. You have Artemis, goddess of the hunt. Twin brother, if I'm remembering right, is Apollo, which is Janus. Apollo's number is 11. I've showed you that in other videos. How many connections do you need to show you that the god is this god I've been talking about for the last how many years? And more people now with better brains are able to link more things better than me. I've seen it and researching it, and it's brilliant. You know what I mean? It's just so brilliant. So we have the metaverse being changed. It's at the start. They're pushing us to get into the metaverse, which we are on a daily basis, whatever way you want to look at it. You know what I mean? It's a crazy world. The amount of time we spend on computers and whatnot. But like I said, it has its good points. Whether that's what's keeping us coming back, who knows? But you have the metaverse. You have them trying to promote it, saying you live for 150 years. So they're heavily promoting it. In the film is based in 2045. So you're talking 23 years from now. Will we be what they are now? Outside, possibly it could, because they're making life hell and people are turning to online and the friends. There's only so many of us who can break out and get our own patch of land and different things and break off grid. So they want to get us into that reality. And there's so many reasons why that is. Siphoning energy, our soul, keeping us trapped, keeping us in a loop, stopping our consciousness evolving. There's so many reasons. But, control's the one of them. That's why they're changing the names of things and making everything online. And that's the sad thing, and it's also the intriguing thing, because we have people like you out there putting these things together. And yes, we do have what people call kooks, but like we say in that meme, I bet they're not laughing, not calling us conspiracy theorists now. I don't even like using that, but that's just the terms. They're just spells. And that's why, like I said before, I just can't get me around people being nasty to other truthers. I just don't get it. I never have. I can do all this content. I can think so far out of the box, but I just don't get it. Why people would go out of the way. I just don't get it. Whether that's just me being dropped on the head many times. Probably. So you have them. So you have Parzival going for the first key, which the challenge was to look back. I wish you could put the pedal to the metal and just go backwards for once. So you have to go to the future. You have to look back. Well, Janus's main, basically not, what's that word? Forgetting a lot of words. His main, not powers, but what you learn about Janus when you research him is that his heads look back to the past and to the future. The invisible one isn't in the now. So that's what reminded me of that, and it just stuck out. So he had to go back under the underground. Everyone's racing above, losing the shit, getting T-Rex running after him, King Kong, and he goes back straight into under the arch into the park and gets the first key, gets a clue. He tells his buddies. They then get their keys, their clues. Artemis basically figures the second clue out that they needed to go to Stephen King's theatre, where he was supposed to be going on a date, that is holiday, and take the next step, go for a dance and kiss the girl who is Holiday's love interest. It didn't work out, and he regretted that ever since. So he completed the second challenge. She got the second key, and again they pass on to each other. They all get all the second keys. Now the third challenge, IOI, the 11, and Nolan basically stole a march. Figured out that it was a back catalogue of Atari games. So he brought in his paid help that appears throughout the film. He's called IROC. And he acquires a magic orb of, what's it pronounced? Osavox. And it's impregnable. And obviously you heard the Celtic serpent thing, which was an enchantment to turn it on. And you have to say it to turn it off. As soon as that's up, it's impregnable. So even though Parsifal rallies the troops, rallies all the Oasis to fight, and IOI are fighting, they're in there playing the games. Eventually they figure out it's Adventure Time, again with a serpent on it, and Artemis is basically, undercover inside, turns it off. Parsifal gets in, fights with Nolan Sorrento and IROC, and Sorrento pulls out the catalyst, which sounds like a big reset device. Resets the game, basically wipes everyone off. Everyone's gone to nil, everyone's dead. But Parsifal won a bet with Ogmoro earlier on, when he was doing his research, and got an extra life. He came back to life basically and won, and that was basically it. He went to meet with Anorak and turned into Halliday, and he offered him a contract for the Oasis. He said no, Halliday would not like me to sign a contract. Basically another little challenge, passed that and got the Easter egg, got shown the exit switch or the turned off switch in for the Oasis, but never press it, he was telling him. So it's just showing you that of transhumanism, the metaverse, simulation, the push to get people hooked up. Oh, you'll live for 150 years. You'll do this in the metaverse. Oh, your life's shit outside in this reality, but go in the metaverse and you can be anyone you want to be. You can have powers, you can have this, and this. And that's what's happening. More of our generations, our kids and grandkids and so on, this could be a reality. This simulation reality. And people are there, oh, what do we do? Well, we have to fight. We have to teach our children to have an open mind, respect different opinions, and that's what I do to my children. They're just mini me. And to respect a difference, not to be a snowflake, not to have your ego in charge, which ego is persona, which is a mask. It's one of the masks. You could call it 7 deadly sins, 7 personas. And it's just strange if we don't do this, and we've got to lead by example. Yes, we have off days. Yes, I have a lot of days when I just don't want to talk to anyone because life is hard. We have whatever we're doing outside of this reality, and it's hard. It takes its toll. But we can't give up, and we cannot become what they want us to become. If they say take the left path, take the right, or don't take a path whatsoever, stand still, put your middle finger up, screw you. I'm in charge of my own fate. But if you've got children, let's show them how it should be. They're the next level of whatever we want to call ourselves. And I'm doing my best. I'll have my ups, I'll have my downs. Sometimes I'll do something wrong. But I'm human. I'm honest to say I am like that. But I respect a person's opinion. I won't control them just because they have a different opinion, or I don't like their channel because X channel said, no, you can't do this. All that thing that they do. You should be ashamed of yourselves, because if you have children, you've got to look at your children in the eye and say, what have you done today, Dad? Oh, I trolled the channel because I don't like their opinion. What is that showing? You know better than what we're fighting. There's no way around it. You know what I mean? And like I said, that is just my opinion. If you want to do whatever you want to do it. But, I'm here to make my life a lot better and my family's life better. And try and fight the good fight. Because it's just so intriguing, scary, fun, sad, emotional. The reality that we have so many ups and downs. We have a lot more downs lately. So what we're doing to ourselves, we're actually detaching ourselves from this reality to get away from it. And where do we get away from it? With our online friends. So we're doing the work slightly for them, but at least we're having good intent, and we're spreading, our words, our theories, and people are actually waking up on a mass level, and that's why they have to do these resets, and maybe why they want us online and in the metaverse, because we're more easily controlled. But nature, the creator, always finds a way. Like people with dyslexia like me, the reason they can't read the spell is because the creator wants us to break it, not to be able to read it. If we know words of spells, like my spell etymology line, it's just my opinion. Yet people out there will tell me how wrong I am. There's this and this is wrong. What's wrong with having my own opinion? Don't like it? Don't watch it. It's as simple as that. And here's me making a short video. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video on Ready Player One. It was something different. I didn't want to make it like, you've watched every Ready Player One out there. All the Easter eggs. I want you to watch this video and realise, yeah, it's What the Flock TV. It's the Black Sheep Researcher. Whatever. That was my old channel. And you can tell it's done by me. I wanted to show you the Janus lines. I wanted to show you some of my videos that I've done on the metaverse, on how they're trying to get us into that reality. The Oasis is just their name. We saw it from films like Transcendence, AI. There's so many films out there showing you they want to get us from this prison of bones into a virtual prison of bones. And they basically wrap it up in a nice little bow and say you can be whatever you want to be. We can do that here. But they're just making our life as hard as possible. Yet we have you guys. This togetherness that we have can do so much. And that's what we need. I have a down day. I'll read a comment. I'm automatically lifted. I don't reply to negative comments. I'm not even going to waste my time with people who want to be stupid. Do you know what I mean? Feel good. Let's insult someone. Get a life. So this was completely different. And then in between that, we had his funeral. And at his funeral, he had the Chiron. Is it Chiron or Chiron? I pronounce it. The ferryman. And they had the coins on the eyes. And they had 1972. Now, I think Halliday was born that year. I'm not quite sure, Don't be ready to type, I got it wrong. But it said in that year, that's intrigued me. Why put just that number on? And it was on the 47th quadrennial presidency with Nixon and Gorman or something like that. I can't remember his name. And it was funny because someone just mentioned about the 47th presidency being the next, after this thing that's in now, being the 47th president. So I'm wondering what the quadrennial means, because I researched it and it kept coming back to that. So whatever that is, still it's an 11. And the Munich athlete massacre, whatever you want to call it, 11 athletes died, and the date was the 5th, 6th, which adds to 11. Come on, that's all I say. And you know what I mean? And then you think, well, why has he put that in the video? And then you think, damn, he made the Munich film. You then have his cinematographer, whatever it's pronounced, called Janus. And then you just start seeing the picture of why they love to use this 11. You got that day in September, all the 11s that I've showed you in that video. It's crazy. So this ritual transitional number they love to use when they can. Again, it's just a theory that I've had that more and more people are looking into. It's just crazy. Then you have the IOI, which is basically 11, and they call them the sixes. It's just crazy when you start looking at things differently. Like I said, I've watched a film years ago and then watched it again the other day, and obviously because in that span, I've watched a lot of Janus and I saw a lot of the 11s. I didn't include a lot in it, but you can just see it is what it is. People will criticise me, I've done this wrong, I've done that wrong. If you've got so much time to criticise, go and make your content yourself. That's all, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with criticising. It's all about opinion. Even the truth, and people didn't even like me saying out the truth. That brought out all the trolls. It's just crazy. So what do you guys think? Are they pushing the metaverse now? When is your time frame? Do you think everyone's going to be hooked up Matrix style, if we're not already? Because that's what it is. It's just a total mind trap, like a mind, swear word, you think type of thing, get it? Because look at the things that we're theorising and we're talking about each other now. 5 years ago, you wouldn't dare say it. So we're all coming out of our shells, coming up with all these different theories, and it's beautiful. Because we're encouraging it more. Yet, it's a double-edged sword. Words. Do you know what I mean? You have the good people who are encouraging it, who, and then you have the idiots who just want to stick on one thing and whatever reason want to take it out. But that's just reality, unfortunately, that we're living in. Hopefully these people will see sense and fight the people who we should be fighting. But, it's the ego. So hopefully if you enjoyed that little bit of a different videos, I've included a lot in it, but not too much on the film because I didn't want to make it a review, if that makes sense. So it's just basically a little bit of the plot line, a bit of the 3 challenges, like Janus's heads, the 3 heads. Obviously he had 2, but the ones are visible, so he's gone from 2, 3, and 4. Let's wonder if he's had any more. Who knows? But that's the beauty of research. We're finding more and more each day, because we have more and more eyes. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this on Ready Player One of sorts, and the other little theories and the meta in between. And let's just keep up the good fight. Let's use the Beast, the Ouija board, the electronic Ouija board, because we're using a mouse, which is like the thing that you use. You know what I mean? So you can't get away from it. But we can change the intent, and that's why I want to try to do the intent. You guys made me feel like family, and hopefully I do the same for you. You're helping me, sharing my stuff, my channels grew. If I get deleted tomorrow, I'll restart again, and off we go again. It's just a battle, and we just got to laugh at it and try our best. So guys, take care. Always put a smile. Do one good deed a day. And, I'll see you next time. God knows what I'm making it. But I do know I've got 2 things in the pipeline that I want to do. One of them might be a short one, and the other one will be a huge what. Like, you can't get any more what if, but it makes sense. usual stuff. Right, guys. I think I might do a premiere. I wasn't going to do one, and I had to refilm this bit again because I wasn't going to do it and got told off by Steve the Bear Wheatley. So, right, guys. I'll see you in the chat. Bye, guys.